What up, y'all? Welcome back to If Only I Knew. I can't believe it, man. This is insane. I got a new camera, Canon 90D. Shout out to Canon. I'm hoping that this new quality is just gonna enhance your experience with this podcast, and I'm really looking forward to making some new videos with this awesome camera. Today's video is gonna be talking about buying a house. And my wife and I actually just bought our first home. We're super excited, and we bought it with the idea of renting it out as an investment property. I want to talk a little bit about that process and maybe encourage some of you guys out there who have been thinking about, Gracie, why are you jumping my video? Some of you guys have been thinking about maybe buying a house, and this could be your opportunity to learn a little bit more about what that's like. Today, I'm 26 years old, and to be honest with you, if you would have asked me 2 years ago if I thought I was buying a house, I probably would have said maybe like in 5 years. The most common misconception that people have about buying a house is that you need a lot of money. You need a huge down payment in order to buy a house. That's not exactly true. My wife and I were able to buy our house with less than 2% of the home value. A couple of things that you do need before you even consider buying a house is a good credit score. You want to have at least a 600 FICO credit score and potentially above a 700 in order for you to get the best rates and also get approved for special programs such as FHA. And the great thing is, if you've been in any of the military branches in the United States of America, you do qualify for a VA loan, which is the best loan that you could possibly get that's backed by the government. With having over a 620 credit score, you're able to qualify for 3.5% down on a house. So if you look at a house that's worth about $200,000, 3% of that is only about $6,000. A lot of people in our country already have $6,000 saved up. And if you don't have it yet, all you gotta do is stop drinking Starbucks every single day for a couple years and you'll see how fast you can get it.
Got him! Got him!
One other thing that you do want to do before you even look at buying a house is have at least 5% of the property value that you're looking at. So if you see a house that's worth about $300,000 and you want to have at least 5% of that, should be about 15 grand in cash in your bank account. And the reason why I say in your bank account, in cash in your bank account, is because the banks or the lenders that you're going to use will actually look at your bank accounts and they'll make sure that that money has been in your bank accounts, that you actually own that money, that it's not money that's being put in there, it's not money that's being laundered, it's not money that you weren't paid through your job or for whatever reason. They will check and verify that that is your money. You don't need exactly 5%, but I do recommend it just in case the banks decide to ask you questions and say, hey, where's this money been? And having it well in advance of you starting your mortgage process is super important so that you don't get the underwriter asking all kinds of questions about, hey, what is this money? Another thing that you want to get in line is your debt to income ratio. Debt to income ratio is pretty simple to understand. You take your debt, what you're paying monthly, and you divide it by your gross income monthly, and you'll find out your debt to income ratio. That percentage needs to be below 36% in order for you to qualify for certain programs. In order to qualify for an FHA loan, you need at least a 31% debt to income ratio or below. Having an FHA loan is great. Actually, I did it. But there are some drawbacks to having that perk of having a low down payment, such as private mortgage insurance. If you haven't heard of PMI, private mortgage insurance, you could pay literally $200, $300 a month just on insurance for your actual mortgage until you reach 20% equity in your property. Once you're at 20% equity in your property, they'll get rid of the PMI and you don't have to make that monthly payment anymore. Saving to have 20% down on a property might actually be a really good idea. However, you have to consider that if you're using all that money into a down payment, you can't use that money for other investments or other ventures that you might have in mind or vacation with your spouse, but you're gonna have that money tied into a property. Putting 20% down payment into a house means you're losing a lot of money into a property and you won't have cash. So what you can do alternatively is refinance your house whenever you're ready after saving a couple more years and having more assets. My wife and I chose to do an FHA loan, and the reason why was because it worked out best for us. We had that exact same strategy. We wanted to purchase the property knowing that in a couple of years, we had the ability to have 20% equity and remove that PMI completely and use this property for an investment rental property. One other thing that you really need to know is using a good lender is going to make it or break it for your home purchase. My real estate agent actually advised that I don't use Bank of America before purchasing my home. And she was right, because I had a terrible experience with Bank of America and I learned the hard way. Banks are not necessarily mortgage lenders. However, there are specialized lenders that do this day in and day out and actually have better incentives, better perks, and That's exactly what happened when I decided to leave Bank of America and go with a specific mortgage lender to purchase my home. One other thing that you might have not known is that the FHA loan can actually only be used on one property at a time. If you're purchasing a single family home, that means that you can't do a 3.5% down payment on one home and then go turn around and do a 3.5% down payment on a different home. However, there is a loophole that you can do. If you get a triplex or a duplex, you're able to use a FHA loan on that property and then go and buy a single family home with also another FHA loan. So there is loopholes, and I would encourage you guys to do some research into that. If you're looking to invest into a property, if you're looking to purchase a home for an investment purpose, I think it's a wonderful idea. A lot of individuals have this mindset of, hey, I'm just gonna keep renting until I have enough money to buy my dream home. But one of the things that made me purchase a home was, hey, every single month I'm throwing away $1,000, $1,500 on rent. It's not going towards anything for me. It's literally going into somebody else's pocket. So why not instead purchase a home where I'm actually investing into it? And that should be the mindset of every single person. The mindset should be, if you have the ability, because not everybody's in that place where they can go and buy a home or have that down payment money. And I totally get that. But if you have the ability to put the down payment money and you have the ability to continue to have a good debt to income ratio and invest into a house that you're living in, and then from there branch out into a house that you're investing so that others can rent out in the meantime while they get ready to purchase their home, it's a wonderful structure. And not only that, but there's also all kinds of benefits. The government gives tax cuts for purchasing homes. And if you have investment properties, even more tax cuts. I'm not gonna go too much in depth, but one channel that I do recommend watching that I've learned so much from, and one channel that I actually watch quite often, is Bigger Pockets. And if I've never heard of Brandon Turner, I recommend that you go right after this video, go watch some videos by Brandon Turner and Bigger Pockets. You can also go on biggerpockets.com. They have a great website with all kinds of tools, calculators. They can help you with so many things. And my goal personally is to actually start a real estate company. With that being said, I actually got a couple of books from Brandon Turner and Bigger Pockets that I actually recommend that you guys maybe even look into yourself. So I got a couple of books here. This one is actually about rental properties, and one of the things that my wife and I want to do is buy a couple of houses, rent them out, and not only that, but we'll also be able to help all kinds of people, whether it's Section 8, whether it's college students. We're also able to help people live in an affordable place while they're actually getting ready to purchase their own home. And managing is a super important component of that. Not being a greedy landlord, but being a good landlord is super important. So rental property investing, super awesome. And then buy, rehab, refinance, and then of course repeat. I missed the rent part, but yeah, you catch the gist. Gracie, you're interrupting my video. So be sure to check out Brandon Turner's videos and also his channel, Bigger Pockets. Not sponsored by any way, shape, or form by him, but I just think he's awesome. He's also a Christian, and I really like that about him. So big shout out to Bigger Pockets. Appreciate you. That's it for me, guys. I don't got much else to share, but let me just say this. Guys, there's so much more content coming. I wish I knew more about buying a home when I was younger, because I would have done it when I was younger. I would have saved up to buy a home and actually began an investment journey. And I'm not going to go too much into depth about what it looks like to rent out houses and how you can actually have an investment, literally an investment. If you have somebody paying rent for a property that you have on a mortgage, it's literally being paid off by itself. That's why a lot of companies, a lot of these rental apartments are all over the place, all over the country. It's just crazy. It's a wonderful investment. I'd encourage you guys to get some of these books, read them, find out more about what you can do, and yeah, get smart. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Gracie, you're interrupting my video. Gracie's interrupting my video. Gracie, oh, come say hi to the video. Oh, gosh. Say hi, girl. Say hi.